Hello, and welcome back to my channel, everyone. I'm Liam, and right here with me is Anna. Welcome back to Cozy Conversations with me. Today, we are having an honest talk about why you haven't started that thing you really want to do. It's the silent problem that stops the smartest people, the knowing-doing gap. If you know what to do, but you still don't do it, this episode is the missing link.
Hey Liam, this is the most common feeling in the world. People say, my head is full of great ideas and plans, but I feel totally stuck on the couch. This isn't about being lazy. It's about a bad setup inside your brain. It's when your brain gets so busy thinking, it forgets to actually move. We need to fix this stuck mode.
Exactly. We know we should do the taxes. We know we should eat better. We know we should practice that skill. But we spend an hour researching the best way to do the taxes instead of just opening the form. Why? Why is planning the loop we always fall into?
We have to look at the three main mental traps that are holding you back. The first one is the sneakiest, the fake reward feeling. Your brain is always looking for the easiest win.
Tell us more about this fake reward feeling. How does planning trick us?
When you plan a big goal, like learning to paint, or when you research the perfect brush set, your brain releases a chemical called dopamine. That's the feel-good chemical. It's released when you anticipate success. The research and planning are low-effort ways to feel like you've started. Your brain gets a reward just for thinking about the work.
So, that beautiful new notebook I bought for my journal, that hour I spent watching YouTube videos on perfect morning routines, that feels like I accomplished something. But it's actually stealing the energy I need for the real journaling. It's a comfort zone that looks like progress.
It is absolutely a comfort zone. And this leads to the second trap, the fear of messing up, the perfection trap. We only see perfect results from other people. We are afraid that our first try, that ugly, messy beginning, will prove we aren't good enough.
We look at the top influencers and forget their first attempts were probably terrible. We set an impossible standard for our own first 5 minutes of work. This huge jump between our high standard and our current ability makes us freeze. So we need to declare war on the idea of perfection.
The fix is to radically accept that the only goal of the first step is to exist. It doesn't need to be good. It doesn't need to be smart. It just needs to be done. If your goal is to write a song, the goal of the first 5 minutes is to write the worst, most nonsensical line you can think of. You must give yourself full permission to be terrible.
You can't fix an empty page. That should be everyone's motto. Now, how do we physically stop the overthinking and break the freeze?
We use the instant tool, the 5-second rule. This is about taking control before your worrying brain kicks in. The second you have an urge to do the right thing, reply to that email, stand up to stretch, you immediately count down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. You must move physically on go.
Why does the countdown work so well?
Counting down is like hitting a reset button in your mind. You have a tiny window, about 5 seconds, before the part of your brain that worries and makes excuses says, "You're tired. Do it later. What if it goes wrong?" The countdown forces a switch. It makes the thinking part of your brain step aside so the doing part can take over. It's a physical trick to stop the anxiety before it starts.
That is the key. The goal is not finding motivation, it's about making the decision instantaneous. We need to shrink the time between the good idea and the first physical action to less than 5 seconds.
And we shrink the effort even smaller with the 1-inch action. This is the single most ridiculously tiny step you can take right now, needing zero brain power, designed purely to create momentum.
Give me a very simple 1-inch action for starting a side project, like creating an introductory video. That involves lighting, script, editing. It's huge.
For the video project, the massive goal is publish the video. The simple step is write the outline. The 1-inch action is plug the camera battery into the charger. That's it. Not turning it on, not writing, just plugging in the battery. That single action proves to your brain that the process has begun.
Okay, another one. Starting a workout when you feel exhausted.
The 1-inch action is put on one shoe. Not the other one, just one. This combats the internal resistance perfectly because it convinces the brain this is too tiny to be resisted, therefore it is safe to do.
This shifts us from just thinking about self-help to actively trying things out. Now, let's talk about a big hidden problem: information overload and brain fog.
This is vital. Every time you read a new book or watch a new strategy video, you are increasing your brain load. Your brain can only handle so much at once. When you fill it with too many conflicting strategies, do this, no, do that, your brain gets overwhelmed and defaults to safety, freezing. It simply cannot decide which great system to choose, so it chooses none.
So, reading too many self-help books actually makes it harder to act. How do we filter this huge amount of information?
We implement the 1-in, 1-out rule for learning. If you consume a new self-help book or video, you must immediately choose one actionable tip to implement, and you must put on hold any previous tip that contradicts it. You commit to one system until it fails, not until the next trendy book comes out.
That is smart. It forces us to stop treating self-help as a place to hide and start using it as a toolkit. When you finish this podcast, you must write down one single action and commit to trying it immediately. No more just listening. We become active implementers.
And we must create clear walls using scheduled thinking time versus scheduled doing time. Your calendar must separate these activities strictly. 9 a.m., 9:30 a.m., plan Project X, thinking. During this time, you can only organize and think. And then, 9:30 a.m., 10:30 a.m., ugly draft of Project X, doing. When it's doing time, the rules are non-negotiable. No research, no editing, no reading new tips. You only produce.
That structure is the only way to break the planning loop. It forces you out of the freeze by giving specific energy to specific tasks. Remember, the only reason to plan is to inform action. If your planning doesn't lead to action, it's just fancy procrastination.
Now, let's talk about the momentum loop. The reason people stay stuck is that they wait for a big external reward. We need to create small, internal rewards. When you do your 1-inch action, you must pause and tell yourself, I am a person who follows through. That internal affirmation is the reward that beats the fake reward feeling.
That makes the action self-sustaining. The reward comes from the feeling of being reliable, not the final outcome. Finally, let's revisit the ugly first draft. We need a trick for when we try to edit ourselves mid-task.
You must use the two hats rule. When you sit down, you put on the creator hat. The creator hat is messy, non-stop, and is not allowed to use the delete button. When the hour is up, you put on the editor hat. The editor is calm, critical, and cannot create new material. Never wear both hats at the same time. This is the ultimate way to defeat the perfection trap.
So everyone, your mission from this detailed episode is clear. Pick one thing that has made you overthink. Apply the 5-second rule to it right now. Find your 1-inch action and do it. Don't just absorb this information. Act on it. Because the only way to beat the knowing-doing gap is to do.
It's time to stop researching and start living. Thank you for letting us share these essential, life-changing tools with you.
We absolutely know you can do this. Thank you, Anna, for this crucial deep dive. We'll catch you next time for more cozy conversations. Bye for now.
Stay cozy and stay intentional, everyone.